Just kidding. What's going on, everybody? Rob Ferretti. What a way to start a live stream, right? I am going to say what's up. I've got some catching up to do on the videos. I was traveling this week. I was out in Notre Dame, where Rudy was getting his ass kicked. But I was doing a tire rack experience. It was pretty cool, testing out winter tires and seeing their benefit and getting to drive on a skid pad in the rain, all that fun stuff. But I fell behind on uploads because I just, I've got work, trying to build a house, etc. And the upload sort of fell to the wayside. Tonight, I'm joined by a cup of urine. Really does look like that, doesn't it? But it's a small glass of urine, which I keep. I fill this up with urine, and this is the Glenfiddich product XX. I will be going to Scotland in a couple of weeks, and I will be going by Glenfiddich. It's in the Speyside region, which is like north of Edinburgh, south of the North Coast. But I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what else we have. The upload schedules behind. Tire acting was cool. Notre Dame, very religious school. Didn't realize that, but I had fun there anyway. Nice, beautiful campus. I got to throw the football around on their famous stadium field for a while. So I'm trying to keep demonetized for drinking own urine. I didn't say it was my urine. That's a real weird fetish then. What type of urine? No, I see, the Glenfiddich XX. I had this bottle for at least 2 years now, 2 or 3 years. Not my favorite. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah. Anyway, so updates coming on the wheel. I've got to do the 6th update because that, of course, that doesn't just go away peacefully. And that reminds me, I've got my to-do list is so long. Let's see, house update. That video is gonna come. I gotta update that. I've got everything in my life ends up in lawsuits, which is annoying as hell. But that's part of the Solomon Mondrian paid this dude to hack everyone's YouTube accounts. I don't buy that. Conspiracy theories. But yeah, starting to sell off rental cars. So this is my month. Just got back from Tire Rack. Monday, go to Banff up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I'm just doing some scouting at the hotels and stuff for adventure drives when we go next summer. The only problem with that is I was going to go a couple of weeks ago, but it was my birthday. So I was like, you know what? I'll hold off a little bit and I'll go 2 weeks from now. Well, guess what? It's like snowing in the low of 18, high of 40. So that'll be an interesting trip when I go up. Let me just get you guys real quick. I got some super chats here. Hurricane Ian. So I got the Huracan 580-2, but now I'm starting to think I should have gotten a 458. What do you like? I can't really say bad things about the Huracan. The stuff I like about the 458 more is trunk space. The Huracan really sucks wind when it comes to trunk space. I don't know why, but it becomes much less usable. The 458 you have behind the seat, you can put golf clubs, and you can like most of the Ferraris, put a set of golf clubs behind the seat, and then you have the trunk. You can fit like a full-blown human being in there without much discomfort. So that should give you some perspective. The sound of the 458 is good. They're both reliable. I think the Huracans, it is also a newer car, but the Huracans keep their value pretty well. But the 458 Spider is still like a very expensive car to try to source. But ball, you can't go wrong with either. I think if you're getting bored of one, I don't. I think you'll get bored of the Ferrari too eventually. Um, Next up, Travis says, "Sorry I missed, but I haven't heard about anything about the house or the Sever Arms Shavams." That was a voice to text. Shavam's Evo. What happened to that build? So Shavam's Evo, I just sent the head out. So the bottom end was already built. I did that. I did the roll cage. The car went over to Jeff. My truck has been down. If you guys know any diesel mechanics, I need a diesel mechanic to jump on that truck. It was essentially like rolling coal all day long. So we got something to swap the EGR, and unfortunately, it still has the same problem. So it's either an injector or something, but I need somebody. I just replaced the injectors, which go like 300,000 miles. I just replaced them 5,000, 8,000 miles ago. So we got to figure out a way to resolve that, and Jeff's too busy to keep pulling the damn thing apart. But Shavam's Evo will be getting done probably this winter. The winter is a good time for builds because that's when my rental company's slow. Like January, I can bang that thing out. But also January is the worst for ad rev. So who knows? Maybe it'll be December. Making homemade pasta sauce. Have any advice, Mr. Spaghetti? Lots of salt. Oh, wow, what is your perfect spaghetti recipe? Well, spaghetti recipe, it's an excellent question because like spaghetti, you think of spaghetti, meatballs, and sauce. I'm like spaghetti is one of my least favorite pastas because it's more difficult to eat. It just happens to rhyme with my last name, which is why we're in this line of discussion to begin with. But I prefer like a baked ziti without the regatta cheese. I don't like when you put I just think it's unnecessary. But ziti, rigatoni are probably some of my favorite pastas. But raviolis are terrific as well. Let's see. Okay, that caught up I caught up on the super chats. I can get back to my month. So I go up to Banff. I come back next week from Banff. I go with my family down to Washington, D.C. I'll be down there from, I don't know, for the weekend. Then we do the open house. The Gotham open house is going to be, wait for it. We didn't announce it yet. But the Gotham open house will be November 11th. Friday, November 11th is going to be the Gotham open house. So I will see you guys there if you want to jump in on that. Any bites in the super sale? I haven't even listed it for sale yet. That's just, I get very ambitious in the summer, but the summer I'm like retardedly busy. So I wasn't able to get around to listing and selling the super. And then when the super had the oil, the fuel leak delayed me as well. Gotham is in Teaneck, New Jersey. So we will do that stuff. Let's see. After that, I get back from, so we do the open house. After the open house, I'm going to Scotland, like Braveheart. It's going to be fun. I'm probably going to get a kilt because that's sort of what everybody does in Scotland, right? When I get back from Scotland, we have adventure drives, the fall drive. That starts in Charleston, goes down to Savannah down to St. Augustine to Daytona to Cape Canaveral to Orlando, Disney Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's a thing people do at Epcot in Orlando, which I'm excited to do with everybody, which is drinking around the world. So Epcot Center is a big circle, and there's a different country, and then you go around the world and you attempt to sample many a drink, and that just makes people a little bit more fun. And now you're not having like big drinks. I mean, you may, but you're better off with the samples, like a couple ounces, some short little stuff like this. But this is not alcohol, obviously. And then they're the Food and Wine Festival, so they have different samples of food from around the world. I have a dinner scheduled that night, but I have a feeling everybody's going to be like either drunk or just super full. We'll watch some fireworks. I don't know. I think it's a cool, as adult as our trips are, I think people are still like down to have fun. So I think most people opt into going to Disney World. And then from there, we go down to Miami and chill on the beach for a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that. We're finishing at the Shore Club in Miami, staying at the Waldorf in Orlando. Um, the rest doesn't matter. If you're interested, check out adventuredrives.com. There's probably a link in the, I think I default to a link in the description here. Anyway, I come back from there. It's the 27th, Halloween with my kids, and then over to Las Vegas for SEMA. And I'm not going to SEMA on the first day or two. I'll get there probably for Wednesday. That gives Rob Dom a chance to get his car in like mid-show, because I don't think it's going to be ready. That's me stabbing him in the back. I hope it's ready, but I think it's still a long way away from drivable. Am I getting the new Supra? No, I had the new Supra for about 2 weeks, and then I sold it. Wasn't a big fan. Oh, wait, somebody's calling me out on November 11th. Oh, I'm sorry. October 11th is going to be the open house, not November 11th. So October 11th should be a Friday, and there will be an open house. I'll post it up. I'll do stuff like that. But let's see. Supra, truck, cars, house. House is coming up. There's going to be some updates on that. That will be that's what I'm working on now. I've got my quest for subcontractors now, which is always fun, and just like pulling together the cash, because I don't want to really take a mortgage out or like a construction loan. I'd like to just like reorganize cash and just build the house that way. So I've got the electric and the gas being disconnected in the next 10 business days, water being disconnected on the 7th, and I should be able to break ground and start going at it probably around the 10th of October. Robert M. says EU countries passing legislation to phase out fossil fuel cars as early as 2030. Do you support EV research? Will there be something else better? Yeah, I support EV research. I think most like pedestrian everyday, like I think people movers should be electric if it makes sense. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't think like non-people movers, like the things that are sports cars or designed to be fun, I don't think it should be mandated that all cars are electric. But I've got no, like, if the bulk of the cars rolling around are electric and the infrastructure's there, and it's something that makes quieter, safer, cleaner roads and atmosphere, then great. I would start with the big stuff: cruise ships, trucks, stuff along those lines, airplanes, things that really burn most of the gas, and then get more into the everyday cars. But I wouldn't worry about like electric sports cars. I just don't think it's. I don't think that's. I mean, it maybe some people are interested in it. I'm not. Noel Edwards. If I'm interested in the science of horticulture, not the business aspect, should I open a business? I'd probably be happier working for somebody. You're generally better off working for yourself. I don't think I would waste. I don't know. If you can work for yourself, do it. If you can't work for yourself, maybe you could find somebody who that's very self-aware to acknowledge that. You could find somebody who maybe complements you, and you guys can work together as partners. This way you sort of have freedom, you have accountability, you still have that feeling that you're not going at something alone, but you also reap the benefits of whatever you are working on. I hope that helps. Let's see. Somebody is filtering these, or oh no, they're just being held for review. Let's see. So, favorite Jersey road. I'm not really a Jersey road sort of guy, right? I don't think there's anything really good around here. Yeah, honestly, 17 Parkway 287. There's nothing that jumps out at me as a road that's like, wow, that's really cool. Let's see. Jersey sucks. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Check your website. Oh, the Adventure Drives website is technically down. I guess putting a link to the Adventure Drives website probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but it's like half up. If you want Adventure Drive stuff, shoot me an email, rob@superspeeders.com, rob@adventuredrives.com, and I will answer any of your questions. The new C8 Corvette, Matt was just out driving one. The thing that I was at in South Bend, Indiana, I was with some journalists that just drove it, but there's like an embargo from being able to share your opinions on it. So I will not be relaying their opinions on it that they didn't share with me anyway. Let's see. So two Corvette, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so as far as the Corvette goes, I've got two coming in January, so I'm not really too worried about getting a press car. Never really dove into the press fleets or tried to get into the press fleets. The wildest I get press-wise is probably doing like the New York Auto Show. I don't really do much beyond that. I'm going to have to charge my computer in a second, so give me 1 second as I low battery. Uno momento, por favor, amigos. That was for you Spanish speaking. Let's go. Wire. Plug. And we're good. Fine art in the background of this. My kids made that, and that is proper art because I'm not really a guy who understands art. I think art is rather subjective. I can look at something and be like, wow, that looks cool. That looks abstract. I could look at it and it makes my brain move. I could look at something and say, wow, that's really attractive. But I just can't look at something and say, wow, that's really worth millions of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars or whatever. Okay. Yes, I need a filmer. That's going to be coming up. Let's see. Can I have some money? Yeah, sure. You go get your job. When am I going to be in Savannah? We will be in Savannah. Unana. That's Savannah. We'll be in Savannah on the 24th for lunch. Collab with Omni and Omi and a Hellcat. I don't know what that is. I was thinking about doing another like giveaway spot for Adventure Drives. I don't know if that's something you guys are down with. The shirts last time were sort of a pain in my ass, and I don't know. I wanted the shirts to be good, and I wanted to control the quality of them. So I had us handle all the shipping and logistics, but that was just like a nightmare. And then now. Like I just don't want to use like Teespring and all these other companies, because I've even gotten my own Teespring shirts in the past, and I'm like, doesn't really do anything for me. Robert M is asking, what is the best and worst purchase I have made, car or other? The single worst purchase I've made in my life is my old apartment in Edgewater, and my parents' generation is of the generation that you never want to pay somebody else's mortgage, never rent. So when I was 25, I took out a loan for full value and bought an apartment for over here. It's relative. Don't go off of where it is all across the country. But I bought an apartment for like $560,000. At the end of 10 years, when I finally sold it, aside from the fact when I was living there and the value, including the value that I got out of it, it cost me an additional $350,000 more over 10 years that than I would have had to pay if I rented at the time, and that I had to pay an interest and other BS and commissions, and just biggest financial mistake I've ever made in my life. Worst car purchase I've made. I don't know. I don't really regret any car purchases. Probably would be my, like everything had a reason for it. I wouldn't say there's one specific car purchase that stands out as like that was a bad move. Business wise, I don't know. Everything did all right. We've always been able to make things go out, even if it's not the best purchase. But the Celine S7, as far as a business standpoint goes, may have been the worst purchase we've made. We ended up losing a decent chunk of money in that car, and just nobody wanted to rent it. So, wow, that guy just said, Ethan King said, Rob is the type of guy to wipe himself after a fart. Ethan, I would tell you if you were right, but I don't have to wipe myself after a fart. Your mom does that for me. It was like a double wink. Failed. Austin Myers, any advice for an up-and-coming YouTuber? Yes. Don't get your account hacked. See, I don't know. I don't want to be too optimistic for people. I mean, YouTubing is to do it well takes a lot of effort, and I would even say some luck. There's a lot of people that do it, and there's a lot of people that do it, and it just doesn't work out. Like most people do it, and it doesn't work out. The amount of time, unless you get like really lucky or get some viral videos or anything, but even at that point in time, if you're gaming for viral videos, you're not making stuff you enjoy. You're making stuff you think people are going to watch. I would do YouTube not as a profession unless it takes off. I would do YouTube for fun and make stuff that you enjoy and share it with the world. And if there's a market for those people, then great. But I wouldn't start chasing YouTube as a career by trying to make content you don't enjoy making, because that will take the fun out of it and you will quickly lose interest. And it's almost a curse if that does well, because if that does well, now you have to keep making stuff that doesn't entice you. Josh Bunton, what about the Supra? Which Supra, Josh? The 98, my 98 Supra is going to go up for sale. It's got the, if you watch the recreating the Fast and the Furious thing video that I made, it's just pissing fuel out of one of the braided lines where the AN fitting meets the braided line. So I got to redo that. Just again, I'm traveling almost all of October. so I don't expect to get to that till November. But the good thing is, when November comes rolling around, we start to get into auction season, like a Barrett Jackson or an Amelia Island. So don't rule it out. The other Supra I bought, the 2020 Supra, bought it, tried to rent it for 2 weeks. Nobody wanted it, sold it. Didn't lose any money, but didn't make any money either. Let's see. Are you doing another YouTuber car challenge? I will be doing that. Where's my wife right now? Yeah, my wife was here. She'd be yelling at me for making too much noise. I don't have a date on the YouTuber challenge. I will do it though. My wife is out tonight, so I can do this for a little bit and not get yelled at. Ben's plow is my daily, but I'm probably going to get rid of that and get something else. I'm the type of guy to drink out of a mini wine glass. This is a mini wine glass? Little antler thing on it. Jolly Roger threw 5 bone skis at me for whatever. Thank you. Justin Brake. Thoughts on Dom's 4-rotor progress? I don't know the progress. I just see thumbnails. As I said, if I'm too busy to make my own videos, I definitely don't have time to watch anyone else's. But I do wish him luck. Being a month away from SEMA, I don't know. I've just been disappointed for years, hoping that it would run so I can race it. But if he does get it in the SEMA, it'll probably, I think a goal for me, if I was in his shoes, would be to get it running and driving, maybe street tune it, just enough to get it down the block, drive it in the SEMA, drive it out. No dyno time, no anything like that. Just to sort of say, I can do it, hit that benchmark, and then you can start to test and tune. Worst case scenario is the thing doesn't work, and you end up pushing it in the SEMA anyway, and that sucks. I will be going to SEMA. The favorite beer would probably be Guinness. Luckily, I'm going to Ireland and Scotland. I'm just going to Scotland, but let's see. What happened to Jimbo? I don't know. Jimbo is working now for another YouTube channel back near his home. James Hanau is asking, where'd it go? What do you think about Toro? So I've done some rentals on Toro to try it out, and with varying success, but most of them I remember as being bad experiences. I even used Toro as a matter of convenience, where it was not cheaper than rental companies, to try to just good, I'll just get curbside pickup. And every time I've done it, I've been disappointed. You're dealing with individuals, high mileage cars. I mean, there's probably that mid-range, wanting to rent a sports car, but not wanting to rent it from a company that's going to charge you a bunch. But then you're renting somebody's baby. They may blame you for a rock chip. I don't know where all of that goes. But Toro, I'm still soft on Toro. It's not like you can go to, let's just say a rental place and there's somebody managing a bunch of Toro cars. So just a bunch of private owners, but there's a service to it. I've gone to cars where there's lock boxes on them. I got to do my own checkout. I'm responsible for making sure that it's not damaged from the previous guy. I don't like that one. Second try. Thoughts on C8 maintenance costs? I think because it's a Corvette, the maintenance costs may be reasonable, but I also think the labor associated with the mid-engine car may be more than people are expecting, or more than people are used to with Corvettes. So that's something to keep an eye on. Uh, MB is Frenchy. If you have a customer that wants to keep doing business, if you have a customer that you want to keep doing business as it's lucrative, but they owe me over $150,000 in back pay, any suggestions how to negotiate? Cut the cord, brother. I mean, now once you're that deep in the hole, they have the leverage. There's a saying that you owe the bank $100,000. That's your problem. You owe the bank $100 million. That's their problem. But 150,000 in back pay. How you let it get to that? It's the I don't think I would get lawyers involved to structure something, or potentially safeguard you if they try to go into bankruptcy or something. But good luck with that. But I would not extend them any more credit. That could only get dangerous for you. Noah MRV. Hey Rob, what do you think about the fast Volvos, like the old model, R models and the old rear-wheel drive manual turbo bricks? I've got an RV50 T5 i5 turbo with a manual. See, like, I'm the type of guy that I can have fun with any manual car. Volvos are reliable. I don't really like the look of them, and I don't think of them as sports cars. But for a daily driver, for a fun car that's got a little bit of chutzpah and can get around in the snow, I don't think you're in a bad place. So enjoy the Volvo. And I think they look cool. I think there's some like aggressive features to the Volvos, and they're known for being safe cars. Let's see. We're still ahead. Yeah, I think other people are chiming in on the 150,000. Oh boy, Robbie, another Jersey Paisano over here. Maron. Oh boy. Ciao. Getting old if we're doing a live stream at 10 o'clock on a Friday. Yeah, I could say that. But there's 285 people here also on a Friday night. If you could be one car, what would it be? It's an interesting question. Whatever Jessica Alba's driving. Shout out to Dumont. You don't see that too often. My old hometown. I wouldn't say my stomping ground. I didn't really spend much time there, but my old hometown. Favorite hoopty was probably the Volvo Mino. That thing was pretty awesome. Not been in the Middle East yet. Let's see, V8. What is it? V8_U. Do you think it's worth investing in some sort of old Brabus builds from the 2000, 2010s? The prices have been rising. Now, I don't think the Brabus builds are investment quality cars. I'm pulling a little Jim Cramer here, but I think a lot of those Mercedes are in a decent price category right now, but the maintenance costs are huge, and I just don't see that the after like any of the Gambalas, Tech Arts. It's like a very specific buyer, so you may see some of these cars go for decent money, but some of them will also tank. So I would probably not use that as an investment. If you want to buy one as a car to drive, go ahead. There's a good chance you'll get your money back, or at least a good portion of it, but I wouldn't buy them as investments. Slap the button. Kramer it up. I don't really watch Kramer. I was at a taping of Jim Cramer once. I was playing golf in a government agency's golf outing, and I won. That was one of the things I won, was to go to a taping of Jim Cramer and do high fives and whatever he does, handshakes and photos. Do you, okay, would you buy an M Coupe? Now the M Coupes are overpriced. Get the M Roadster with the soft top for a sixth of the price of the M Coupe. So I think that's a better play. Joshua, huge fan from the Philippines. Thank you, Joshua. Would I consider renting a classic sports car? Probably not. As far as like a company move, probably not. Like I wouldn't. My insurance covers cars that are up to 10 years old, so anything outside of that doesn't qualify. Best car to learn manual, anything that's 500 or $1,000. Volkswagens, Hondas, anything you could scoop up cheap. And if you blow the engine, blow the clutch, scrap it, get another one. But you'd be surprised how durable clutches are. Even when you think a clutch is on its way out, you may get 60,000 miles out of it. So just get something that you can drive and rock it. I learned on my Corvette. Honestly, the first manual car I ever drove was my Corvette. I liked the idea of a manual, and I had my uncle come with me to the dealership to get it because I didn't want to like stall it out because I never drove manual before. So he came with me to get it, and then we drove over to the parking lot, taught me how to drive it. I drove him home with him like watching me drive the Kohl's parking lot up on 17 in Ramsey. I drove him back to his house in Oakland. Bye-bye, and drove home and never really turned back since. Nice. So Pickle Me Timbers, nice name. What are you drinking? Be specific. If you say a wine cooler, I might have to unsub. Also, thanks for the good signature on the first release t-shirt. Well, cheers to that. According to YouTube's rules, I have to disclose that this is a cup of urine, not any sort of alcohol. But if it was an alcohol, or the alcohol bottle I keep my urine in, is it's a Glenfiddich Project XX, which it actually urine is fitting because I never have been a big fan of that specific Glenfiddich, and I've had a bunch of them. I've had the 12, 15, 18, 21, the rum cask. I've had the 25. I had the 30. And I've had this, and this one just didn't really get me. So no, this was just lazy. I'm not trying to grow a stash out. Yeah, I'm like, if I could remove like virtually all body hair and facial hair other than this, I'd probably spend the money. Let's see. I'm a huge fan from the Philippines. Yo, I got it, bro. You are a huge fan from the Philippines. So I'm glad you're here. I appreciate that. Post that 10 more times, we're going to have to nuke you. Let's see. Let's see. The DONK. So that's an excellent question. So the DONK is over at Jeff's. Everything is sort of waiting on the ramp truck to be fixed. So again, diesel guys. I need diesel guys. I'm going to be traveling, but I need somebody to be fixing that truck. It may be a stuck injector, so somebody would be able to test the injector, see if one is bad. If it is, it's warranted. Just has to go back. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think it's that. I don't think it's a turbo. I don't think it's anything like that. Much luck on renting the new Supra. I got rid of it already. But once that truck is running, I'll be able to get the DONK. The DONK We put a new engine in it, but the flywheel wouldn't mate up. It was touching the screws, so we had to swap to a different flywheel. Again, just like one of those problems that we didn't address, or we just put a good day's worth of effort into it and then gave up and parked it in the back again because we're too PO'd about it. But it may be a nice, fun car to drive in the winter. I think that's going to be my snowplow this year. You know what's cool about that is the snowplow is the plow won't block the radiator. Usually it's a problem with cars that the plow blocks the radiator, and when that happens, the car overheats or the truck overheats. Especially like I used to snowplow when I was younger, and I had like Ford F-250s, and I just wanted to take as much rock salt with me as possible. So I'd legitimately fill the entire truck full of rock salt, and it would just be dragging ass down the road. So when you've got that and then the engine being blocked by the plow, especially if you're going in between jobs, it tended to overheat rather quickly because I was definitely moving, rock salt's 80 or 100 pounds a bag. Was it 50 pounds? I think there were 50-pound bags, but I'd have 4 tons, 5 tons on the truck at any point in time. So it was just not happy. It was mostly local stuff. Let's see. Any new cars in the pipeline? I got to get my house built first before I start shopping new cars. But I say that always. We will see what would happen. Electric cooler fans wouldn't work now. I think it's just not getting enough airflow. And like, it's a pickup truck. You only have a plow on when it snows, really. You can take the plows on and off. So it's not something you'd go through the effort of the cooler fans. What's your favorite urine drink? Well, my favorite alcohol now is the Clase Azul is solid. I was drinking tequila a lot this summer. Other than that, Glenfiddich 15 is still my sort of go-to. Thoughts on current? This is O-Rob. Gave me 600 yen, which I can only imagine is like $5. But thank you anyway, regardless whether it's 50 cents or $5,000. Thoughts on current GT2 RS price, future predictions on price? I think the GT2 RSs are going to go down pretty hard. I think there's a lot of guys out there that just bought them to flip. And I think there's going to be a lot of them for sale as people are like, you know what, this thing's just sitting here costing me money. It's not going to go up anytime soon. There's too many buyers that just park them, so they're just going to end up dumping them on the market and moving them. I think it's a hell of a lot of car. I think it'll always be 200 to 250,000 USD though. In your experience, which is the higher maintenance cost, Lambo versus Ferrari and Rolls-Royce versus Bentley? Which takes longer to get parts? Well, Lambo takes longer to get parts than Ferrari because Ferrari stocks a lot of parts in the U.S. and at Ferrari North America and Englewood Cliffs. Lambo, you may have like basic parts that have to come from Italy. The thing is, though, I just had a custom door panel, like my door panel from where the side airbag blew out in the 488. Took like 3 months to get the wrong part and another 2 months to get the right part. So that was tough. Lambo versus so Rolls-Royce versus Bentley. I think Rolls-Royce has more expensive parts than Bentley. Bentley, you can sort of snag a bunch of Volkswagen parts. And again, it really depends on the part, but Lamborghini is probably the longest lead time on a regular part, maybe Rolls-Royce too, but the Rolls-Royces I've had, I've never really had a lot of parts needs. Let's see. I was told there would be a squeegee. That is an excellent point. There's a squeegee in the photo. Behind me in that photo is Mont Blanc, but I think that photo is probably better than me just looking at the camera and which is my usual live stream. Like, here comes a picture in 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Lex Tech Lighting. Happy to see you as well. One from down under. What's going on, Australia? Favorite super speeders about to rent. You already saw 3. I like 5 and 6 as well. I would say my super speeders favorites, without getting nostalgic and saying like 1 and 2, because the 1 and 2, 1 wasn't even shot in HD because it didn't exist at the time. 2 was on better cameras, but still not HD, but it was at least 16 by 9. 3 was the first one that I shot in HD. I would go with 5. I was a big fan of 5. And then 5, 6, 7, 4 is going to be my order. Will I do Gumball 3000 next year? I don't know. Gumball, there's something about these rallies that I sort of steer clear of. I don't really get along with the like, I'm really rich crowd. I don't know. Just like it's cool if people have money. It's not cool when they just want you to know they have money, and that's sort of what you get a lot in the Gumball and the rallies with the stickers and the people fighting for attention. And I'm sort of a little bit more low key. Do I think Trump will get impeached? No. Any experience with a Porsche 997? Looking to buy one. Probably one of the best options for used Porsches right now are the 997s, especially if you're getting a manual. If you can swing a 997 GT3 all day long, all day. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up. Usually I've got more super chats and then I can just go through those, but now I'm sort of like scrolling through regular comments. Somebody sent me a list of stuff they wanted me to talk about today. I think it was on the Instagram, on the gram, and I will toss them a little bit. Okay, Jolly Roger, Joel Raleigh. GM strike impact on the C8 deliveries. Teamsters say no deliveries during strike. From what I've heard, the C8 will not be affected even if they're on strike. Yeah, so I'm not really too worried about that, but I've got 2 of them coming in January, and I think they should be on schedule. Hey, Rob, come to a drive in New Zealand. We have some great roads and good weather around February time. New Zealand? Oh, boy. New Zealand, excuse me. New Zealand is a long flight for me, but is definitely on... it's definitely on my list of places to go. I don't know what happened to the Stance Miata. I know the guy bought it. I don't know what ended up happening. Why should YouTubers take the money I worked hard to earn? Nobody's taking anything. The only thing YouTubers get is money that you give, or money that somebody gives them from you watching an ad that they make you watch. Who else is waiting for Matt Farrer to show up? Nope, Matt is not here right now. Matt's in California. Yo, Rob, what do you even do for a living? There's a video that is called What I Do for a Living, and it sort of covers all of that. Let's see what else. Did you get that M4 wheel? No, I did not get the M4 wheel. They refused to give it to me. There'll be a 6th update like in the next week or so. Credit card on the fraud on the Super Bowl. I made a video about that. I lost the one, and I won part of the other one. Any more collaborations with Cletus? Yeah, Cletus and I will do something in the relatively near future. I am not. You know what? The F9 Tributo is not on my radar. I'm not gunning for it. I wasn't trying to get one. I didn't ask to get one. I don't expect to buy one. Let's put it that way. And my 48 just crossed like 7,000 miles, so it's still a spring chicken. And of course, C8 maintenance costs, we covered that. And finally, associate producer credit on tonight's live stream. Ha ha ha. I'll give you associate's producer credit, or at least the idea guy credit. Big Al, what do you got there? Oh, look at that. Big Al's got his DVDs. Let me throw that on my story. OG, I'll take it. What is the beeping sound my Corvette makes when I start it up? Beeping sound. Oh, you must be thinking of some of my old videos. That's probably a Valentine 1 radar detector. I don't have... My car now just makes a loud clicking sound in the front right, which is the headlight motor, which is not normal. I've just been too lazy to change it because why bother? A max price I'd pay for a C8 MSRP. That's what I'm paying for my 3 of them, and I would not pay anything more than that. Just wait. It's not going to be that limited. You can always rent mine if you have such a hard on for them. Is that V12 Mercedes still at the shooting range? Very possible. I don't know. Farah's garage project is boss. That is a lot of money well spent. I hope it fills up quickly, and I wish him luck with his business venture. It is not apple juice. It could be apple juice, whatever you want it to be. Apple juice it is. What's this little money symbol do? Ad inserted. Oh, did I just drop an ad on you guys? Oops. So there's a little button up on the top here that's a little $sign, and I clicked it, and it just dropped an ad on you guys. So that was not done intentional. That was the only time I'm going to press that button because I had no idea what the hell it did. So I apologize for the ad break. Do I think Toro is a good option to make money as a 20-year-old? Could be. I don't know. It's effort. It's better than sitting on your ass and doing nothing. Have I ever met Tavarish or Hoovy? I met Tyler, came by my shop when he bought his E-Series wagon in New York. Tavarish, why do I feel like I saw him somewhere, but I didn't meet him? Maybe not. But yeah, I have not met Tavarish. Any news on the Catfisher deleting YouTube channels? No, I haven't really done any research. That's sort of your guys' thing. If I was going to use my free time for something, I would use it to make more YouTube videos because I've not uploaded one in a couple of days. Carson, I'm glad you enjoy the shirt. House updates coming soon. I've been meeting with builders and masons and excavation companies for the last like 2 weeks. So I play catch with my kids. I tried. My kid is just starting to pick up baseball. He's been playing golf. And he's only 7. But I was pitching to him and he was hitting balls. But he's still, like, I gave him a wooden bat. He likes using the softer one better because it's a little bit larger. It's easier to hit the ball. But we'll get there. Oh, I'll give you a 6-minute warning for me being tired. No, I didn't teach him how to drive at the age of 6. How's the car hauling business going? I'm not really doing car hauling. I just do. I outsource it all through Alan Perry. He was a broker who handles stuff very well. What is a good price in the used AMG GT in your view? I don't know. I think I'm going to sell mine in the next couple of weeks, and I'm expecting it to go for probably low 80s. But I think 80,000 would be a good price, especially for that 16,000 mile car. Typical utilization rate of the rentals in the winter. So there's two methodologies. You can either buy 20 cars and rent them out all year and then watch your utilization rates go up and down, or you can buy 10 cars when it's not so busy, buy 20 cars or even 25 cars when it is busy, and then drop back down to 10 cars when it's not busy. That's the way to keep the utilization up on the assets that you do have. And that's what I really do. I think I've got sort of good utilization even in the winter on probably 8 cars. Rusty, you got yourself a problem. Just got 2 women pregnant. Any advice other than jumping off a cliff? They're best friends, by the way. Rusty, God bless you, brother. Congratulations. That's your problem, not mine, and probably their problems as well. Maybe move to Salt Lake City. You can marry them both. Mr. Anna Drew, thank you. Rip Rusty. Rusty was the name of the son in National Lampoon's Rusty Griswold. Make me think of him. Nick Papagiorgio. How many cars have I owned in my lifetime? I don't know. Probably like 20. Dave Dudart, any plans for Patreon? I did get your email, Dave. I just didn't get back to you on that. Any plans on Patreon members? Pretty much dead. Yeah, I'll probably just close that Patreon. I want to do something for everybody that sort of stuck it out, but there's not enough activity. When I did the Patreon, I was like, oh, cool, I got all these patrons, and I'll start posting stuff and doing all this stuff, and everyone, like, nobody watched it, and it was just like sort of a way. It felt like a waste of time, and I'm so busy when I do something that feels like it's wasting my time. I stopped doing it, and as the patrons were falling off, there's still, I don't know, 20, 30 people on there. No real big money, but I appreciate everybody that does that, but I'll probably switch over to something that's a bigger platform like the YouTube subscription, because then on YouTube it's easier. I could just bang out like a live video every day. Not when I say a live video every day, but I could do like an update video for 5-10 minutes, whatever it is, that doesn't go on the main channel. And just a lot of stuff that I wouldn't put on the main channel, video snippets, clips, stuff like that, versus putting them on the main channel and then like having some like crappy uploads in between. But for people that do care about more of the daily stuff, I'll put it there versus the Patreon. Thanks for the appearance. Have a good night. Thank you, Pickle Me Timbers. It's probably my favorite screen name on here. That's a good one. House update video. Yeah, as I said, the house update video is coming. I got both historical and planning board approval on my house. So on just the house, not the let's see, where did I go here? Mr. Anadrew is, what is the best way to find a good deal on a used SUV? Well, start by going and seeing if you can find the wholesale on it. There's a couple of websites now that try to let you know what's a good deal, what's not a good deal. It really depends on your budget and what you're looking for. I would recommend going for the newest, like versus like the most expensive original MSRP car. I'd go for the newest car you can get with the lowest miles for your budget. That'll probably serve you better, as long as it hits all those marks that you want. The heated seats, heated steering wheel, all-wheel drive, 7 seats, whatever it is that you're specifically looking for. Other than that, just shop around. Be willing to walk away from a deal. You'll be able to find cars, and you can find 10 cars you like, call them lowball offers on all of them. There's a good chance, accuracy by volume, you'll be able to score one of them for a lower price than you think, because if there's a bunch of them for sale, somebody's desperate to get out of it. You can also, if you want to try a car that you're unsure about, you go on Swap a Lease, and there's a company that will allow you to pick up somebody's lease. So maybe you get one for 4 or 5 months just by taking over the lease payment. And you can really get like that extended test drive to see if you like it or not. Let's see. Oh, we just crossed an hour. I'm getting ready to bounce out of here. But anyway, my comments, my dad owns a racetrack called Apex Motor Club out here in Arizona. You should check out the website. Maybe you could add that as a destination for your next trip. Possibly. I don't know. That could definitely be a thing. Good night. Have a Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Juneteenth. Do the same. Good company to invest in. You're asking the wrong guy. I've taken in the investing strategy. Duramax or Power Stroke. I lean Duramax. I've always been a Duramax fan. I've been taking the strategy of just buying into a bunch of IPOs lately, and this is like the worst time ever to buy into IPOs, apparently, just from the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months. But I'm going to just keep dumping more money into them, and hopefully long term it pays off. Because there was a time where the Facebook stock was like, I think it came on the market at like 60, 70, was down to 18, and now it's like 250. I don't know where it's at now. But that's a pretty traditional, other than the IPO just taking off, that's a pretty traditional way for companies to go, and especially companies that, like, I think Uber is going to be established in the world forever. I don't think Uber's ever going to go out of business. I think they'll always have a way. It's like the name in cars. So if you get it while it's discounted and just do a long-term play, even if you take $10,000 and you put it in at a third of the IPO price, half of the IPO price, and it goes to 4x the IPO price, I mean, you're killing it. Your 10,000 becomes 90,000. So I don't know about you. That's a good return to me. Let's see. 84 Aries K car, 300,000 miles, only 10,500. Good God. You got the sweet super speeder shirt. Love the design. Enjoy it, big man. Have I owned a Viper? Yes, I owned a Gen 4 ACR, one of my least favorite cars. It's sexy as all hell, but totally not predictable. Yeah, okay. I'm there. I'm going to go sign off. I appreciate everybody joining me on a Friday night. I feel bad that you guys didn't have anything else to do, but joining me, the old man here on YouTube, and entertaining me for some conversation. Always appreciated. As I said, I'll do a quick recap. House update coming soon. DONK, Shivam's Evo project, all coming up in the winter. I've got the adventure drives coming up in a couple of weeks. Bunch of travel coming up. House update coming up. Sixth update. I've just got a lot coming on. But thank you for taking the time to join me and keep me company. I will catch you guys in the near future, maybe sometime next week, possibly even when I'm in Canada, because it's supposed to be really cold up there, and I wasn't expecting that. But thank you for watching. I will catch you next time. Good night from New Zealand. Good night from New York. Oh, that's a hate sign now. That's not okay. That's not okay. Good fight. Good night. Yeah, I'll be up in Alberta. I'll be up in Banff. So just in Montana. I love Montana. Bye from the UK, lad. Cheers. I'll see you over. If you're in the UK, come on up to Scotland. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Have a pint. North Carolina, French Montana, Knife, Illinois, Sweden. What's up, Sweden? Where in Scotland? I don't know yet. I'm going to be going all over Scotland. I know I'll be in Speyside. I will also. I'm just doing scouting for our trip next fall. Hunting wild haggis. All right, boys and girls, mostly boys. Uh, got you. And keep an eye on my Instagram stories for random shit. If I'm not posting on YouTube, it's probably I'm just dumping stuff on YouTube stories. Good afternoon from Melbourne, Australia, Detroit, Ohio, Colts Neck, New Jersey. All you guys from all over, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you later.